Now, I didn't think I would have to say this out loud, but there is no man or woman fine enough to get disbarred over. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Claire here. We are reviewing Mea Culpa. So let's go into what Mea Culpa means. Mea Culpa means through my fault. You guys know I love languages, so we're gonna break it down real quick. So Mea means mine, and Latin, and culpa means like fault. So you ever had it where like this is a very formal way of saying it, but disculpame means basically excuse me. It's very a formal way of saying it. Just the root means through my fault. Now, you want to know whose fault it was? It was my fault for watching this movie. I'm going to go ahead and go into the plot review, but I just want you guys to know that this is still Black History Month. So this is what we got. All right. So first things first. So the overall review is Calendria's character is married to a mama's boy. She's an attorney. He's a ex-anesthesiologist because apparently he was high off his own supply, and so they got him. Basically, he's temporarily not working, so she's making all the bills. So the mother-in-law brings his ex to dinner, and my thing is like, I'm just assuming that I have anger issues because her response was very calm. Just know if I was ever married to a dude and his mother-in-law brought his ex to dinner, just know that would be the end of that marriage. But anyways, so basically this leads to her meeting Zahir. Now, the Zahir I know is from Avatar, but this is a Zaire. Okay, I guess, child. I don't know. This is Zaire, and basically he's an artist that was accused of delifing his ex-girlfriend, Haire, who's from Mexico. And then, so basically fast forward, she ends up, which was very obvious was going to happen from the get-go. She ends up doing the horizontal tango with him, and so she wants to get off the case. She's falling for him too fast or whatever, and then it turns out that this whole scheme was cooked up by spoiler alert, it was cooked up by the brother and brother-in-law to basically run for mayor, and the mom was in on it. She faked that she had, the monster-in-law faked that she had cancer, and so basically this was all cooked up. And then her friend, who's married to her brother-in-law, she didn't know anything about it and all that. So my thing is, it ends with, this is just overall review of the movie. So it ends where they get caught, and then like she calls the police, and the police comes and then arrests the DA, which is her brother-in-law as well. And so her husband ends up getting de-lifed because they were driving down a one way, and there's a truck there, and then like she unbuckles it, and then he goes flying through the roof. Now we got the plot summary out the way. Overall, I give the movie a 2.5 out of 5. Now, mind you, I have some pros and I have some cons to the movie, but I definitely give it a 2.5 out of 5, only because of the fact that I grade with the curve when it comes to Netflix movies. Like, I'm not expecting Oscar worthy, like, I'm not expecting Oscar worthy, we're gonna see this movie nominated for a SAG award, like, I don't see it being at the SAG Awards next year. But I would definitely say, like, I give it 2.5 out of 5 overall, and I'm gonna tell you why with my pros and cons. But the certain pieces that I left out of the plot summary that was they were kind of sus. But like when she would go meet with him to like discuss the case because she's an attorney, some of her outfits, I was just like, yeah, if I was an attorney, I was taking on a case over a known womanizer. Like, most of these men who are womanizers, like, they're pretty good at their job. Okay, I'm coming there in sweats. I'm coming there in a pantsuit that's loose. Like, I'm coming there in day one interview, and I was like, and then also what enticed her to go cheat with the artist was the fact that she saw a blurry photo of him with his ex, his ex whatever that keeps coming around, and she was like, I saw a blurry picture, I'm gonna cheat. I was like, I know, but child, you didn't want to gather all the evidence. Like, you're an attorney. That was the confusing part, is that she's an attorney. I was like, why wouldn't you be gathering evidence? But anyways, we're gonna go into the cons and the pros. Okay, so first things first. The first con is the pacing and then the chemistry. Like, I personally, I don't find Trevante fine. Like, he's an attractive man. He's in shape. He's well put together. But he wouldn't be somebody I'm like, oh my God, Trevante. Like, he's not attractive to me. I don't know if it's the haircut. I don't know what it is, child. But their chemistry at first was kind of like friends, and then like it kind of like, I don't know, like their chemistry was kind of like, I liked looking at them together. You know, there's a couple explicit scenes, so do not watch this if you're a kid. Okay, if you're any of my nieces, log off. But I can even say, like, there was a couple explicit scenes that I was just like, okay, you can go. Like I said, like, I'm not a fan of like overly explicit scenes that don't push the narrative along. Like, if you show like an intended, like, oh, they did what they did, and then we move. Like, we don't gotta show us this. Like, this is not the channel. If we want to see that, there was a different channel that you would go to. I don't know. But I would definitely say like that was like the pacing, the chemistry just felt kind of like, and then they started. I was like, well, dang. There was blurriness in the plot, so I was confused on like what part of I was confused on that. I was like, there was blurriness in the plot. Like, I was really confused on that. The runtime being 2 hours was a bit, I want to make sure I'm using this right, overzealous, that we would have enough attention span to deal with that. Like, I think I got to about 60 minutes in. I was just like, oh, another hour. Oh, another hour of this. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting it. Like, I really wasn't expecting that amount of time. Like, I like 2 hours, like even Disney movies are shorter. Like, I don't know, like, I wasn't expecting that time frame. Like, I was expecting shorter. I don't know what happened there, but okay. I also have a con, like the ages were off. Now, mind you, you know I love me some Kelly Rowland. That's one of the pros coming up soon. I love me some Kelly Rowland, but like the ages were off. The ages were off. Like, I feel like something about something about the ages were off. Like, I didn't know, like, I really questioned. I was like, why would somebody who's like Calendria's character, like, why would somebody like that be married to this bloke? Because they're British, by the way. They're brothers. They're both British. Didn't, like, I feel like I've been had. But I just don't see what world she would be married to someone like that. I see her being married to, like, no offense, the brother-in-law, like another high-powered attorney that would like be able to go toe for toe. But like, who is this little boy she's married to? Like, literally, like, little boy. It's something about him just gave very young, and like, I look at the age difference because, you know, black don't crack. You know, Calendria's 43 and he's like 33 about, so about 10-year difference. But in the movie, it just looked awkward, and it's not like an ages thing. It was just like, Trevante looked more her speed, but Trevante is also like, he has an older face because Trevante is the same. Fun fact, Trevante is not too much older than her husband. It's just how they're aged. It's just how everybody ages. But I was confusion about that. So the pros, okay, the pros is the fact that you see that little print that says Tyler, you see that little print there that says Tyler Perry. That's how little he was in the movie, almost non-existent, which means he wasn't in the movie at all, which means it's gonna be a good movie. Like, it was already starting off as a good movie because of the fact that he's not in it. Okay, like, no offense to him, like, his best movies are when he's not in it. Calendria still fine, yes. One of the most, like the face card, like, Discover may be accepted everywhere, but her face card is accepted everywhere as well. Like, literally, like, just stunning. Like, every look she devoured. Like, every look, like, what's 6 + 2? Like, she devoured every look. Like, every look she devoured. Pro was actually that it got released during Black History Month. I feel like Black History Month, like, a lot of us, like, we wanted to celebrate it every day, but there's been so many events happening. Like, I feel like 2024 has not sat down. Like, you know how you ever that one kid that, you have that one kid that, Like, as soon as they get somewhere, they got to start playing around. I was like, sit down somewhere. That's 2024. 2024 has not given us rest. We have not, they've been shaking us every way, every which way but loose. Like, 2024 is a crazy year already. But another pro was for that it was different. Like, Mea Culpa, like, for them to go Latin, like, this and that, but, like, it was different. Like, it's something different, y'all. Like, we're tired of the same narrative. Now, mind you, it did follow the same run thing, but I was pleasantly surprised with a different, unique idea. Now, one thing I did notice, we're gonna do this the call out section. One thing I did notice, this screams addiction. All right. Now, a lot of you probably haven't watched a lot of Tyler Perry movies because you're smart. So the addiction premise was that she was a publicist and she fell for her artist and she started having an affair with him. Now, I feel like the chemistry between, I want to say, he just fine, all right? Like, this has nothing to do with anything, okay? I think plenty of everybody's fine, but, like, he's fine, okay? And, like, their chemistry, I'm trying to think, like, their chemistry was way better. Like, I felt like it was like a buildup. Like, she kept meeting with him, getting to know him, this and other. Like, they had her on the back of his motorcycle, like, after that scene. Y'all watched it. And I was like, it's not the same thing as addiction. Like, addiction's like honestly one of my favorite Tyler Perry movies. Like, he did his thing on that one. But it definitely screamed, like, you know, there was definitely a lot of parallels. Like, there was like, okay, she like her husband, but her husband's lacking or whatever, and so she goes to this artist, and, you know, artists are very sensitive, catches him doing something with somebody else, like, and then, like, the common motif with a lot of Tyler Perry movies is that the woman does not end up happy, she always ends up alone. Like, he can't have where a woman ends up happy, she's you know, like, I don't know what it is, but he can't have it. I don't know, it's a psychological thing, but, like, all his scripts, like, you know, whatever. Another call out, Calendria's hair looked really nice, which tells me that she was just like, we'll take it from here. I feel like he was like, oh, because, like, the thing was, like, one of the news reporters at the end, I was like, oh, she got the Tyler Perry, she went to the Tyler Perry closet with the wigs. She went to the Tyler Perry closet with the wigs. She did not go to his closet. She was like, wait a minute, I got it. I got my own styles, because all her units look fresh. Like, there was like an ombre effect going on one of them. Like, all of them looked like natural. Like, it looked like it could be her hair. There was just, like, you could just tell she came with her own stylist as well. She was not playing. Thank you. But another call out that I had on here, I have also, like, how long was the plot to be for Mayor? Because they're making it sound like they've been plotting this for a while. That's why I feel like there was a bit of fuzziness with the plot, because it was just like, was he doing this from the get-go? Did he know about the cheating? Was that part of it? Like, when the mother-in-law took me out, she said, how did both of my daughter-in-laws fall for the same artist or whatever? And I was like, girl, I don't know. Like, I mean, she ate with that one. She kind of did. Like, it is kind of stupid. Like, how you cheat with the name person? But I don't know. I just didn't like how, like, there was blurriness. Like, they were trying to be like, oh, it's open. And I was like, no, it's unwritten. It's underwritten. There's no open-ended. Open-ended is just like, okay, you can do whatever you think, like, you can do. But, like, this was very less, like, it's kind of when someone says, like, do you want to work in a high-paced environment? This isn't high-paced. This is disorganized. It's disorganized. Big difference. Okay, big difference. It's disorganized. But that was kind of confusing, I guess. And then, like, another call-out I have as well, I thought this was going to be something similar to, like, Silence of the Lambs, because they were saying, like, like, you know, it's gonna be a psychological thriller. I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be something different. It's gonna be a psychological thriller. It's gonna be psychological thriller. It's gonna be something that's gonna make me think, you know, like they did say, like, they, when he delived her, like, he used the paint from her excess pieces from her body to paint the thing. I was like, oh my God, that's so sick. You know, like, something like that. Like, you know, like, I thought it was gonna be like something like crazy. Like, it just fell flat. Also, bigger call out, when they were like, yeah, my ex-girlfriend's name is Heidi and she's from Mexico. Let me break down for you right quick. I don't know, like, as someone who has different friends from different walks of life and different races, ethnicities, cultures, I have never met a Latina whose first name is Heidi. It might be Heidi Gonzalez. It might be Elizabeth Quintanilla. Like, it's never going to be where her name is Heidi. I don't know any Mexican woman whose name is Heidi, okay? And people are like, oh, that's stereotypical. Bull crap. We all do it. They'll be, even Nigeria, they'll be like, oh, Jennifer Abendigo. Like, they're going to make sure the first name is employable. It's something like they just said Heidi Smith or something. I was like, that should have told you out rip. Like, that didn't make any sense. But overall, like, if you're gonna watch, if you want something to like watch on a Friday night by yourself, it's a nice little, you know, keep it spicy movie, but it's nothing that's Oscar worthy. I mean, I'm glad Calendria is acting again because I actually like her acting. I do feel like certain scenes she could have gave a little bit more, but I enjoyed the whole thing. You should go definitely watch it. I have my Netflix red background. I dressed up for y'all today. Hopefully y'all like the fit and the earrings, but don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire here.